REED-BBS. BBS. Saturday, December the 6th. PBC pay-per-view on Amazon Prime Video. $74.99. So stream it, buy it, do what you do. In the main event, Isak, Pitbull, Cruz versus Lamont, the Reaper, Roach for the WBC interim super lightweight title. We were supposed to have a middleweight unification bout as the co-main event between Janibek, Alimkhanuly, WBO IBF champion, versus WBA champion Erislandy, Lara, but Janibek produced an adverse finding for accelerated levels of meldonium. I've come to learn that meldonium improves cardiovascular performance and the body's ability to rehabilitate itself during exercise. In other words, Janibek was cheating. Janibek's team, of course, they're waiting on B-sample results in hopes of clearing his name, which almost never, ever happens in instances as such, but so be it. For what it's worth, Lara said he should be punished for cheating. He tested dirty. He's a younger man, 32, fighting a 42-year-old man. And I agree with that. He also said we'll see what happens, but he has 2 titles and he tested positive. He should absolutely be punished. And I agree. Before I get on to the rest of the card, the 160-pound division will be punished also because it's doubtful TerenceCrawford will entertain campaigning there if he chooses to continue. So there's no incentive at 160 for Bud now that the Lara Janibek fight isn't happening. In steps Johan Gonzalez on 6 days' notice. Gonzalez is most famously known for beating what's left of Jarrett Hurd recently. And he also took L's to Yoenis Tellez and Ramos. So as the co-main instead, we got WBC super featherweight champion O'Shaquie Foster versus former super bantamweight and reigning WBC featherweight champion Cool Boy Steph Stephen Fulton Jr. Rounding out the pay-per-view card is the aforementioned Jesus Mano Ramos, who will be squaring off against Shane Mosley Jr. This will be Mano's second consecutive bout above the super welterweight limit. Shane Mosley Jr. hasn't fought in a minute, like a year and 3 months, and that was at 168 pounds. But given the fighter's weight history, Mano fighting not too long ago at 54, Mosley at 68, I can't see Mano stopping Mosley. He's the better fighter. He's better than Shane Jr. He should win fairly convincingly, but by decision. Co-main event, Stephen Cool Boy Steph Fulton challenges O'Shaquie Foster for the 130-pound title, as I said. And at the initial press conference for this bout, couldn't tell if it was Cool Boy Steph or Cool Boy Stuffed, because my man was looking, he was looking healthy in the motherfucker. Scooter, as they called him, he didn't look like he had missed any meals. As I said in my last video on this subject, he put the full in Fulton. Well, he's in fighting shape now, as we saw in the most recent presser. He looked focused, ready, and confident during his stare down with O'Shaquie. And if Nathan else, I hope Cool Boy Steph shows up with them Timberlands and them jeans again, like he did. That was a dope original look from Cool Boy Steph. The REED Division World Champion, though? The REED Division World Champion? I never would have predicted that from Fulton. I'm not predicting it now either, because I think O'Shaquie ekes out a close decision in a surprisingly entertaining scrap. But as a fan of my dude, my bruh, my Tomodachi Naoya Inoue, I wouldn't be mad at all if Cool Boy Steph becomes a 3-division champion, because that enhances Inoue's legacy. So shit, come on with it. O'Shaquie Foster from Texas, from Orange, Texas. He won a world title in Texas. Watching the presser the other day, I saw comments about O'Shaughnessy's his sunken in jaws, his high cheekbones and shit. That's just how he looks. That's just how he's a skinny face ass dude. He's got a skinny face. It is what it is. And if he so loses to Cool Boy Steph, which again I'm not predicting or expecting to happen, it won't be because of weight. It won't be. Again, I expect a good high contact fight though. People usually see two brothers in the ring together who both can't punch, and motherfuckers assume it'll be a boring tactical chess match. Well, I see two brothers that can't punch that won't be leery or hesitant about letting them hands go, letting that leather fly. They're going to be throwing some hurtful punches, and they've been going back and forth on social media for quite a while now because this fight was postponed a couple times. So there's animosity, not nothing, genuine like they hate each other. But they're two competitive dudes, don't want to back down an inch. And I think that will conspire to make for a surprisingly entertaining fight. In the main event, we got the Tank Bowl. Pitbull Cruz, who lost a decision to Tank, and Lamont Roach, who probably beat Tank in his last fight. It was officially scored a draw. But as we know, when the A-side fighter gets a draw, it's because he really lost. Lamont Roach, he was champion at 130. Hell, he still is champion 130. He fought Tank at 35. He'll be facing Pitbull Cruz for the interim WBC at 140. This is a classic meshing of styles. And the response of the pro-Mexican San Antonio fan base, those rabid Mexican fans that'll tell you all you need to know about this fight. If the fans are roaring in approval and applauding after every round, it's because it's a good, entertaining scrap and Pitbull is doing what he's supposed to do. But if that pro Pitbull crowd is muted or silent or sitting on their hands in any way, you already know that's because shit ain't going Pitbull's way. Shit ain't going his way. Pitbull Cruz, the little engine that could. He's arguably Mexico's favorite current fighter. And he's aiming to become the next Mexican superstar. We know Canelo is undoubtedly the biggest name right now. But in terms of being a man of the people, in a day-to-day cultural sense, hardworking, balls to the wall, mano y mano style, that's Pitbull Cruz for me. And if he wins this fight, rubber stamp him as the next Mexican superstar. Even if he doesn't win, because being a Mexican superstar isn't even about wins or losses so much. It's about how you fight. And that's what Pitbull will bring undoubtedly. We got two soft-spoken fighters here, not a lot of shit talk. They're more actions over words. Roach called it Pitbull versus the dog catcher. He said, I'm here to boogie. Everybody know I like to thump. And Roach could get himself in a little bit of trouble here, fighting Pitbull's fight. And even though Roach has looked strong as fuck, he's looked very filled out in the pre-fight pictures I've seen as he's moved up to 40. We still don't know how strong he'll be in there with Pitbull. Can Roach stand and hold his ground? Or will he be overwhelmed by Pitbull's constant pressure and looping shots? Personally, I got Roach by decision here. He's smart. He's fundamentally sound. He's a tactical fighter who just so happens to like getting them hands dirty at times. He'll exchange with Pitbull on his terms. Roach will beat Pitbull to the punch more times than not. And he'll beat Pitbull, I'm saying 8-4, 7-5-ish. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar. Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.